1992 با یورش جنگ داخلی افغانستان سرنوشت یکی از با ارزش‌ترین گنجینه‌های دنیا هنوز نامعلوم است. بیش از 20,000 تکه از طلای باختری که توسط باستانشناسان روسی و افغان یافت شده در اختیار فرماندهان قرار دارد که سرسختانه به دنبال منابع مالی برای خرید اسلحه هستند.
Virtually everybody in Afghan society was convinced that the Bactrian gold had disappeared, never to be seen again.
The Soviet embassy was always trying to distance itself from this. They said, "You found this? Great. Now return it and let's be finished. It belongs to the Afghan people and the Afghan government. So let them do with it as they wish." I was always saying that it is not safe to leave the gold there in Afghanistan because of the political situation.
در حال حاضر هنوز طلای باختری در جایی که ویکتور ساریانیدی آن را در 1978 قرار داد، یعنی موزه ملی ایمن است.
The Afghan National Museum, which is located in the southwestern part of Kabul, was used as a battle station by various rebel factions. The museum suffered the most amount of destruction during the Civil War.
Over a period of time, it was looted by the regional warlord that held it. And every day he would go in and take Buddhist statues, Bactrian coins, you name it. He'd just walk in and take what he liked. There was nothing to stop him at all.
With this Bactrian gold specifically, there was rumor that it was sold in the black market for arms. And so archaeologists around the world were constantly watching whatever auction houses were coming up for any signs of the gold that may show up.
This news was shocking and lamenting in that it relayed that up to this point, Afghans were burying their sons and daughters. But today they have buried their culture and history.
It's common fact that anything of a historical interest in Afghanistan, people expect it to disappear.
با وجود هرج و مرج، یک مرد این دوراندیشی را داشت که طلای باختری را به مکان امنی منتقل کند. رئیس جمهور پیشین افغانستان نجیب الله.
Najibullah, while respecting religion, was also very much secular. And as part of that secular attribute, he respected cultural relics. And he knew the character of his enemy, the guerrillas, the religious extremists. The ones that were still fighting were doing so because of monetary reasons. And he started taking certain precautions.
نجیب الله می‌دانست که ویرانی موزه نزدیک است. او تصمیم گرفت طلای باختری را به همراه 90 میلیون دلار شمش طلا طی اقدامی فوق سری جابجا کند.
They decided that it would be safer to put it at the vault of the central bank, which is probably the safest place.
گاف صندوق یک شاهکار مهندسی است که توسط یک شرکت آلمانی در دوره نادرشاه در دهه 1930 نصب شده است. نجیب الله برای تضمین امنیت ارزشمندترین گنجینه افغانستان 7 مقام عالی رتبه مورد اعتماد را فرا می‌خواند.
We had a lot of things from the excavation site at Telia Tepe, like the gold cloth worn by a princess, which was from top to bottom ornamented with treasures.
طلاها در 6 جعبه قرار داده می‌شوند و در محفظه داخلی سری یک گاف صندوق رسوب‌ناپذیر پنهان می‌شوند. گاف صندوق با یک در فولادی بسیار بزرگ که با 7 قفل بسته می‌شود محافظت می‌گردد. کلیدهای این 7 قفل به 7 مقام عالی رتبه خارجی که با جانشان از طلای باختری محافظت می‌کنند تحویل داده می‌شود. حتی در این محیط متشنج جای طلاها امن است و در دژی درون دژ دیگر قفل شده است.
No one would know who these particular key holders are. It's an incredible treasure, and if you can gain access to who these people are and find who their family is, it's just gold versus, their mother or their daughter or their son.
بدون داشتن هر 7 کلید نمیتوان گاف صندوق را باز کرد. مقامات عالی رتبه به محل خدمت خود باز می‌گردند در حالی که هویتشان سری باقی می‌ماند. در اختیار داشتن کلید هم مایه افتخار است، هم مسئولیتی است که جانشان را تهدید می‌کند.
They were spread out to different parts of the world intentionally to keep these things safe.
1994 طلای باختری ایمن است، اما یک گروه متعصب و تندرو در حال ورود به جنگند.
And then erupted the phenomenon of the Taliban and subsequent takeover of the country by the Al-Qaeda network.
These were not seminaries where people only sat around and studied scripture. They did that. They studied the Quran. They also studied the concept of jihad, of holy war against the infidels. And they were fired up with this. And they were led by Mullah Muhammad Omar, who eventually became the leader of the Taliban. They were convinced that it was God's will to go out and conquer the infidel. Now, who's the infidel? The infidel is anybody who doesn't practice the same brand of Islam that you do. They were fairly severe in their methods of conquering the country. The Taliban now ordered everybody had to wear a chador that covered you from head to foot. Men could no longer shave. You couldn't fly kites because it was considered frivolous and it took your mind away from worshiping Allah.
The foreign minister of the Taliban, Mutawakkil, was asked, hey, why are you killing people in the soccer stadium? He replies on CNN, why don't you build me an execution palace and I will not kill people in the stadium?
It's too much, it's too extreme, people start fighting against it, and they go after art.
در 1995 طالبان شروع به غارت، فروش و تخریب سازمان یافته آثار هنری و تاریخی افغانستان می‌کند.
The Taliban, who had an outright policy of destruction of all pre-Islamic remains, including the smashing of Greco-Bactrian statuary that was found still intact in the Kabul Museum.
They are extremists and fanatics, and they don't want people to make faithful representations of things, of people, which are wrong, because the Islamic law forbids is the representation of God, but not of human beings.
سپتامبر 1996 از آنجا که طلای باختری احتمالاً بزرگترین میراث تاریخی افغانستان است، طالبان به دنبال تنها شخصی که به گنجینه‌های ملی دسترسی داشت می‌روند. رئیس جمهور پیشین افغانستان محمد نجیب الله. طالبان در یک گروگانگیری مسلحانه نجیب الله و برادرش را در پایگاه سازمان ملل در کابل دستگیر می‌کنند.
The crowd came into the compound, dragged him out.
They really wanted him to divulge information about the Tala Tepe.
نجیب الله اسرار محل طلاها و هویت دارندگان کلیدها را همچنان مخفی نگاه می‌دارد. با تمام خشونتی که از سوی طالبان اعمال می‌شود، او سخنی بر زبان نمی‌آورد.
They beat him and dragged him around, and they eventually they castrated him.
And then they hung him from sort of a traffic control tower in the middle of Kabul, and his brother as well.
نجیب الله کسی که خطر طالبان را پیش بینی کرده بود و در پی حفظ ارزشمندترین گنجینه‌های کشور بود، سرانجام رازهای طلای افغان را با خود به گور می‌برد. روزها پس از اعدام نجیب الله، شایعه قدیمی گاف صندوق حاوی گنجینه و شمش‌های طلا طالبان را به بانک مرکزی کابل می‌رساند. مصطفی مدیر خزانه‌داری بانک مرکزی افغانستان است. 35 سال است که امنیت گاف صندوق بانک و محتویات آن بر عهده اوست.
So the Taliban came to the bank one day and started pushing people around, asking about our vault and where the gold reserves and treasures are kept. We told them we did not know. Of course, I did.
طالبان تمامی موجودی نقد دلارها و خزانه بانک را به سرقت میبرند. یک کلاشینکوف بر روی سر آقای مصطفی قرار میدهند و یک کارمند دیگر نیز مورد اصابت تپانچه قرار میگیرد. طالبان دوباره میخواهند به محل گاف صندوق برده شوند. گاف صندوقی که گنجینه طلای افغانستان در آن قرار دارد. مصطفی از روی اجبار افراد طالبان را به 3 طبقه پایینتر و راهروی زیرزمینی راهنمایی میکند. جذبه رازآلود طلاها بسیار قدرتمند است. طالبان میترسند که تله‌ها و حتی سگ‌های نگهبان در انتظارشان باشند. آنها ابتدا مصطفی را مجبور می‌کنند که سیستم امنیتی را غیر فعال کند و آنها را از میان راهرو عبور دهد.
They had guns on both sides, and they told me to open the vault, which I was determined not to do.
مصطفی ساکت می‌ماند و تسلیم خواست طالبان نمی‌شود.
They wanted to kill me, Even I was ready to sacrifice my blood because of my nation. They did not get into the vault, and they were furious. I knew they were going to come back one day, so that's when I decided to make sure they could not be successful. When the Taliban men were walking away, I took one of the keys I had in my hand, and I put it into one of the locks. Intentionally, I broke the key inside the lock by turning it backwards.
کلید شکسته می شود و یک تکه از آن در درون قفل باقی می ماند. خوشبختانه طالبان متوجه این موضوع نیستند.
For not doing what they wanted, they put me in jail for 3 months and 17 days.
مصطفی شکنجه می شود و آنها با قبضه تپانچه به سرش می کوبند، اما هیچ چیز نمی تواند او را مجبور به افشای رازهای گاو صندوق کند.
I wouldn't tell them how to get into the vault because their war and their government did not have popular support of the people. If I would have showed them these valuable things, they would have taken them with them.
26 فوریه 2001 ملا عمر فرمانده متعصب و یک چشم جنبش طالبان حکمی صادر می کند. تمام تندیس‌ها و بت‌های موجود در کشور باید نابود شود. آنها خدایان کفار هستند. 2000 سال طول کشید تا جویندگان طلای باختری که یکی از منابع کلیدی میراث مذهبی و فرهنگی افغانستان است را بیابند. طلاها بازگوینده رازهای قرن‌های گمشده تاریخ افغانستان است، مگر اینکه طالبان زودتر به آن دست یابند.
دو خانم دارن چند تا مغازه کاپ کیک فروشی باز میکنن. در مورد این تجارت تجربه